Got some rather good news for us from the US jobs market.
Indeed, the US employment market finally seems to be bouncing back after a weak stretch that's been blamed on the harsh winter freezing growth. US employers added 192,000 jobs in March. That's a little below expectations, but still pretty reassuring. The number of US job seekers also increased by 500,000, but that's actually good news as it means the long-term unemployed are feeling a bit more optimistic and starting to look for jobs again. The markets over in the US, though, are rather down despite that good news. Both the Dow and the S&P started out well, but have since fallen. The Dow there down over 0.9% and the S&P by more than 1%. That's been led by a sell-off of recently fashionable tech stocks like Netflix and TripAdvisor that have led much of the recent market rise. European markets, though, all closed in the green. The FTSE 100 in London clocked up its 9th solid day of gains, making this the longest positive streak since October. And the CAC 40 here in Paris closed up nearly 0.8%, with markets in Spain and Italy also ending the day on a high. That's after reports saying the European Central Bank is planning a possible €1 trillion of asset purchases, aiming to raise inflation from the current 0.2% to 0.8%. Now that, of course, is a response to the very real fear of deflation, where falling prices send the economy spiralling downwards. That process is already underway in Greece, where prices fell almost 3% in 2013, and Spain is now worried it could be next. France 24's Sarah Morris and Adeline Percept report from Madrid.
At Anton Martin Market in Madrid, stall owners and their customers don't need to look at national statistics to realise prices are falling.
I can confirm that prices are lower. I can also confirm that we're selling less. These little fish, for example, I used to get 14 to 15 euros a kilo. Today they're at €9.80.
You also see the difference with fruit and vegetables. Not long ago I was buying 5 kilos of potatoes for €5. Today I can find them at €2.75.
Prices have slipped 0.2% over the last year. That might sound good news for hard-up Spaniards, but it's worrying many here.
It's pretty clear that spending is falling. We're adjusting prices as much as we can, but we can't put them down anymore. We're already on minimal margins.
What's happening in the market could be an early warning sign of a country entering a deflationist spiral. Sky-high unemployment, falling prices. Companies aren't hiring workers fast enough. This specialist thinks there's a 35% chance Spain could finish up in deflation.
We think the risk is sufficiently high to take steps immediately. Deflation is really just an undercover way of raising interest rates. Money is more expensive, and so anyone with a debt to pay back has to pay back more now than when they took the loan out. So the danger is that Spain might not be able to pay back its debt.
This economist shares the concerns of the Bank of Spain, which has called on the European Central Bank to lower interest rates as a safeguard. So far, in vain.
Now, those Spanish stallholders aren't the only people unhappy about the shape of Europe's recovery. Tens of thousands of protesters marched on the European Parliament in Brussels on Friday, some throwing rocks at police who pushed them back with water cannon. The march was organised by unions who say the EU is focusing on austerity at the expense of creating jobs.
Policies that have been carried out until now have not worked. We have an unemployment rate which is unacceptable. So we are asking, stop the austerity and start a big investment plan for sustainable growth and quality jobs.
Let's have a look at some of today's other big business stories then. Car sales in Britain have soared to their highest level in a decade, surging by 17.7% on last month. Analysts say the figures show rising consumer confidence and the growth of cheap credit deals that encourage customers to upgrade to a new car. The owners of French mobile phone firm SFR say they'll look at offers for the firm over the weekend after mobile firm and construction giant Bouygues upped its offer to €15 billion. SFR's parent company Vivendi had rejected an earlier Bouygues offer, preferring to enter into exclusive negotiations with rival bidder Numaricable. Those talks ended today, and Vivendi has thrown the field open again. And another big money bidding war in France wrapped up today over the rights to show Ligue 1 football matches all the way up to 2020. French broadcaster Canal Plus was the victor, beating Qatari-owned rival beIN Sports. Canal Plus paid a record €748.5 million to the rights to screen top-flight matches for 4 years from 2016. That's still way behind what the English, Italian and Spanish leagues can charge for TV rights. Premier League rights sold for €1.75 billion. That's it for business news. Back to you, Tom.
Thank you very much indeed, Elena Casas. Well, up next here on France 24, we get a check of what's going on in cyberspace. Web News is next.